I don't think it's going to stop Newbee from wanting to go for these type of plays, but it does sort of double down upon LGD's wombo combo-esque nature. You know what would be really good here? They could run like a mid-weaver with Moo. There is not a ton of control here outside of the Kunkka. I guess Kunkka might be good enough, though. If Weaver gets Lincolns, he already has the damage from Drow Ranger. What do you think?
I wouldn't say no to that as well. It's gonna do decent against Mirana mid. Or
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know, but it feels really risky though. Touch with the AA blast, but called it again, Phoenix.
Oh. Nice.
Just giving all the newbie heroes.
Good stuff. They're gonna ban out the Storm Spirit. I guess this is the thing. The Storm Spirit is sort of emblematic of what I was trying to talk about there, was a mid hero that does well against a lack of disable. Because Ancient Apparition obviously does a ton of damage, but does not really have a great ability to have lockdown. You get a little bit out of it out of Sven, some out of Kunkka as well, but I don't know, it could be tough. The Wind Ranger's still in the pool too if they want to go for that and keep it simple.
Puck is open as well, just for the extra control.
Yeah, wouldn't be bad. Can build that into some late game control against the Sven if you go Aghanim Scepter.
Downside is because you're so squishy and as Ancient Apparition. Or you could just, like I said, go back for Timbersaw because you want someone who's tank up for you, soak up the damage. But oh, Medusa.
Alright.
It's so disgusting. Like, they have a safety net in late game as well. So at least you get early towers, Medusa farm. And LGD side, oh, that's all you were pretty much worry about.
Yeah, and there's not really a great... This could be a very difficult game for LGD. Granted, they can also go pretty aggro with this. Kunkka can be more aggressive than you imagine. They also, if they wanted to go really crazy, could run offlane Mirana and then a Kunkka mid. And that's when they can really start to actually be aggressive around the map consistently, because you can have the boat buff and, go for the all-in type of plays. If they were to do that, they'd probably need to take something in a support that gives them a little bit more control, like a Lion or something. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
But that would indicate that Xiao Wei would have to play like the Mirana again, like we saw before.
Yeah.
Or that's one patrol thing, and you're probably thinking very hard what you maybe. Or you could just go for something like Tidehunter. It's not going to do that well against the Drow strat, but at least you have someone who can farm up a mech. And going for that kind of luck, you can also go for Dark Tier, but no, they'll go for a Templar Assassin, so Xiao Wei Mirana.
Yeah, so it makes sense. This is the easy pick that you would sort of expect a little bit, I guess, is another hero there. The Xiao Wei Mirana, it's still a little bit scary, but they can go for the X into arrow combo, which is still going to be there. But I don't know if they have enough damage after the fact. Like, you need to get levels off of that, so I don't know. This could be tough. We'll see how they end up being able to finish this off. Newbee versus LG in what could be the last game in this series if LGD are not capable of reacting to this draft coming out from Newbee. September is going to move on out here, places down an Observer Ward, and also is going to get spotted out by the Observer Ward of Newbee. A couple quick pings. Kind of a cool set that the Kunkka's got there.
It's just like a specifically perfect will set. I know some of their sets like are really, really nice. I think like Shanghai Major, the Beastmaster set, like everyone is, all the players are just buying up the Beastmasters. So much.
Oh.
Careful. Oh, this is just...
Wow, that's a spot. That is unreal. He just ends up going for the time walk right into it, I guess? And then he's going to be able to come out and pull the creep wave past? That's pretty nifty.
30 seconds to battle.
I just learned something new today. I'm going to be testing this in my pubs later on for sure.
I think that he actually time walked into the middle of that. I don't think that that's a spot that you can walk in.
And you got to time it right as well. So cooldown doesn't like coincide. Because otherwise, you just stuck there for like the longest time.
Yeah.
So LGD gonna get themselves a bounty, but what they do not know is this very sneaky KP just killing inside. Feeling he may just tangle his way out instead of time walk, just because he want to like make sure he doesn't want to leave it on cooldown.
That's a good point. Yeah, he definitely can, and he even could eat through like the bottom tree to not reveal that he was back there. But it's gonna end up going for it in a second, I would imagine. Yep.
Yeah, tango.
and goes through and is going to pull the creep wave by. So good stuff. They do have a ability to chase this down if they want. There's
Arrow,
storm
you know what's
hammer.
going on.
Oh god, KP in a lot of trouble. Needs to get the time walk off, but LGD drawing first blood. September takes it. And that's the way you want to start this one.
But of course, no one could have foreseen that Xiaowei was going to be the. Then again, Xiaowei nicely done, you know, because he knows that he can't really farm this lane or even leech EXP going up against the Drow lane. So he's in the jungle using his arrow to just take care of the big creep, and he can jungle quite efficiently actually.
Just needs to make sure his clavies don't get broken, and it should be all fine and wonderful. Well, the mid lane matchup is going to be Move versus Maybe, and you got to end up playing this a little bit carefully, I would imagine, for the Medusa. What do you think is the most important thing? Do you just need to like burn through the refraction charges and throw out the Mystic Snake, or what's the play here?
It's just a static lane. It's really hard because right now the level advantage goes the way of Maybe. He's going to control this very well, and it's very nicely, you know, keep pushing it out. Medusa can't do anything besides just farming under power, and that's all she can do. And by the time Templar board, there's just no way you kill PA.
Okay, well, that's going to be the play then. If we can possibly just end up outlast hitting them, maybe. How though and Kaka are here, and if we end up seeing a relatively early Aquila, there's a chance that they can try and push down the tower on the earlier side. KP, meanwhile, after dying that first time, has already been able to get level 2, so it's not the end of the world for him. Chuan, meanwhile, trying to head over into the jungle, and I guess was he getting stacks, or he's keeping it cool for now.
A gift from the Tempest of Battle.
Interesting.
So already Kaka level 2. So 3
Oh,
support
top lane?
this side. Oh, it goes down again? Oh no, this is just start for KP. Aggressive. Yeah, this is more his kind of.
It was the X into Storm combo and then Chilling Touch being there as well. That being said, we are going to have KP back in time to get a nice little bit of experience here. So he's died twice, but he's still going to be able to get levels, which is somewhat helpful as Chuan is going to run into Maybe and start to burn through those refraction charges. He's going to get a little bit ran down. The glimpse back onto Xiaowei, not going to be able to mess with Chuan too much further.
So now Xiaowei, he'll be hitting the lane, gonna pick up level 3 thanks to this creep wave here. That, yeah, Hao's damage is required, and telling you, I always find it a bit awkward when you see aggressive players like aggressive Hao playing on Drow, because usually you see them on these like melee heroes, you farm up quickly and then they just really involved. Like I've even seen aggressive play a Blink Dagger and a Gyrocopter before. That's how aggressive he is.
Yeah. He's not at all afraid. He can end up going for a Blink Dagger on Hao again if they wanted to.
And for Drow, yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, again, the pressure is still going to be here. You do have Xiaowei, who has ended up transferring into this offlane position.
Oh, they do break refraction. Could be a kill.
Oh my goodness, are they going to be able to make it happen? Maybe dropping low Moo, looking for it, and the right click
no,
not
one more.
right there, and he's just going to be able to walk away, bottling up.
Oh, the nuke, not enough.
Oh my god, 15 HP. Maybe getting away. Very, very lucky there. That being said, he's going to have to take a long walk of shame back home while KP on the off lane struggling to find any amount of levels. MMY is just being his bane right now and looking for a bash to see if he can even keep him at bay for the moment. It's going to happen.
Well, it's KP, you know, and so it plays this Void, and Void is, with a TMS, you don't want trading hits like that. But then again, you have Ancient Apparition Touch, so that's a lot of damage. And he can always go back by Iron Talon so that he can farm up the jungle, but there's a very, very huge creep wave with a lot of EXP. It's definitely he's level 4 right here.
Yeah, he's despite the fact that he's been feeding away a couple of deaths, obviously Xiaowei is having a much better time of it, but it's not the end of the world for Newbee. The LGD need to keep up the momentum that they've been able to build so far with these couple of kills, and it all flows through September, I feel like. He needs to be able to get the initiation with the X and pull them back into an arrow. So we're probably going to see that movement now as they are heading over in towards the mid lane. And if they're not careful, this is definitely going to end up being a dead Moo. Well, Kaka behind him, they drop down a ward. He's going to be able to scout him out. There's the X. Torrent combo can follow up as well as the arrow, but they're not going to end up going for it.
That was a really nice scan as well. Like Newbee, they need this what's going on, so they used the scan, and when he saw it turn red, that's where the TP support came in. For 3 heroes right now, I mean 2 bring moves, so that's how much reading the situation. Newbee don't want to die because they just want to get the levels up. Level 6 on Drow just means they can start to push then.
Yeah, and that's the way that they need to make this happen, is through that Drow Ranger, getting her ultimate up, and actually, it's still a little bit of a scary situation. September is hanging out here and seeing if he can make something go on mid, but this is just leaving a lot of room for KP to farm. He's almost got level 6 now. He's been left alone and not really pressured anymore in this off lane.
And if anything, he can actually trade hits. If you're lucky, Bashes might be lucky on MMY since Void is very close to level 6. And one thing is like why this Konka, I feel it was picked because with the Phoenix pick now coming up from Drow, you can't get them to do it. It's just heals too much, and you don't have enough damage. You don't even have enough damage in the TA.
That's true, and also they're not going to be getting that natural influx of gold. This Sentry Ward rather has been placed down here and blocking the Ancients the entire game, and they don't have 1 stack on it, which is one of those natural steroids for the Templar Assassin. So maybe, despite the fact that he was able to dodge that gank earlier, still a little bit behind in CS, but more importantly, it's going to be a little bit tough for him to pull ahead.
And like you said, you know, KP is sitting at the take down this big Wild Wing Ripper. And Drow has been free farming the bottom lane as well. So I mean, it's not that significant right now. You're talking safe lane is free farming. It's gonna be Sven to Drow, and obviously Sven wins the man fight. And where Hound needs to start taking towers right now.
Top lane, time walks away.
He's okay. Oh, they popped strength.
Oh, if they would have
They
done
can take a tower
earlier, they could have found that kill, but get a little bit greedy maybe. Well, Aggressive is still here. Level 6 on him. Void has almost got his Chronosphere. If Aggressive sticks around a little bit too long, they can maybe actually get the Chronosphere.
Oh, he just got it.
It ends up being
the
dropped
TP
down. Oh, do we have enough to be able to get enough kills here? Aggressive stun for the moment. Sunray coming out from Kaka. They're trying to go for it as well, but not going to be able to find it, as it does look like he was forced to Icarus dive away. A pretty good cold feet coming out from that Ancient Apparition to keep him back.
Such a pity that Chuan didn't have a TP. Otherwise, that would have been a kill. The TP was on the way to him. It was just really unfortunate. Eclipse back, and maybe they could have, or even Ancient Apparition. But anyways, yeah, that just spells being used. It buys LGD a bit more space. Same can be said for Newbee as well. Huge Ancient stack here being built up for Mu. And I mean, you don't usually see him in farm intensive heroes because he wants to be involved. But this case, I should be okay because of how much.
Yeah, that's and you can see already getting a couple of points on that split shot relatively shortly, and throws out the Mystic Snake. Does have his ultimate if things get a little bit too testy with Mu here. Mu is dropping somewhat low, but looks like he's going to be fine. Bottom lane though, the push is coming in from How. They end up forcing out the Glyph, and with this next wave of creep, they might be able to actually take this down. And yeah, it does look like it's going to end up going down. The Torrent is going to connect there onto Chuan, but Drow Ranger gets the tower. And that is a nice little chunk of gold going into their favor.
Best part about the Mystic Thanks is still steals mana. Careful though, no mana to help him stay alive, but same can be said for me. But he has the haste rune, so he's okay. I think if the TP didn't come in, he just beats the TP. Die for that. It expired, and there we go. The stacks will come up to Sven. Farm up very quickly.
Wow, they actually, I guess that they've stacked it every time since they got the D ward off of this, and now this is a pretty large one. We're gonna have to see if Newbee want to come and try and contest it. LGD have been doing a pretty good job of moving around the map, applying pressure onto the Medusa. She hasn't been able to get the free farm that she would want, but it's really gonna come down to how these stacks turn out.
But she's out farming the TA. Like she has a 200-300 gold advantage, and with anything else right now, with Chronosphere, they can actually consider contesting Roshan. Keep it in that general direction. You've got 3 heroes from Newbee as well smoked up.
Well, head towards that mid lane, and Maybe going to be able to find Xiaowei right off the bat. The jump, and they are going to be able to get the glimpse back if he's too far afoot. There is going to be a catch, possibly. Ancient class coming through. This is a little bit of a problem, though, and now a lot of trouble, stunned well.
Oh, nice
Chrono Sphere is going to maybe be able to do enough damage. How is just right-clicking away. A nice torrent breaks it for the moment, maybe in some trouble now. How is starting to bring him low, but not quite low enough. They do kill off maybe there. So 3 for 1, but the one was Drow Ranger. A really nice reaction though by KP.
It was a pity that he wasn't in the. Otherwise, they could have tried for that beautiful 3-man into a disruptor ult. Like his plan was, he read the situation expecting LGD to smoke onto Mu case. And also one of the important things is that aggressive still free farming. With the guard strength, he's trying to take the tier 1.
Looking for a bash right now. KP, if he can hit one of these, they might be able to follow it up with the disruptor. They're bringing in another hero as well, and they already get off the time dilation. Glimpse back, aggressive, maybe in some trouble here as Pow is hidden away, and he is going to end up falling to this, I think, as KP just ends up being able to bring him down. Disruptor's actually one that got the last hit, and they denied the tower. This is starting to become a little bit tenuous for LGD. They can still do it, but at least come out of this into the mid game really strong. They need to go and take these stats here with Maybe, and this is really a big boon for him.
Yeah, maybe he's first. He wants to Deso up, but still just treads Aquila and a Blight big just yet. And this could be an opening for me to try and take the tier. Because when the Ancients have been cleared, I'm gonna give some EXP to MMY. But yeah, they know what's going on, so gonna get himself a T1.
And I'm kind of also wondering if LGD are capable of taking this. They could even think about moving over and trying to test the Radiant Ancients as well. That would be the dream right there if they could make it happen. I don't think...
But it's too risky though.
You think so?
Too risky. Like in such a tight corner, you look at how narrow it is. You want to walk up there or any direction close, approaching that Ancients into a Chronosphere, and all the ults with Newbee can throw at you. So risky.
Mu trying to steal the Ancients himself. There's the X marks the spot on the Mu. The boat is going to come through as well as that Ancient Apparition Blast. And Mu might just go down. He's in some trouble. A lot of damage being thrown his way. The Chronosphere is not going to hit onto anybody, and Maybe now in a lot of trouble as well. Kaka, can he actually find this kill on the Maybe? They've already lost the Drow Ranger over on the backlines, and he's just going to walk away. Oh, possibly dropping low, but not dead as of yet. They don't have that Glimpse used, and can get it in a second possibly, but they don't have eyes on him. Xiaowei comes in, and yeah, this is a very awkward situation.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That was just bad. Chrono down, aggressive still farming, going towards an Echo Saber, and at the same time, he got out from that. He didn't die, so that's a very huge thing. Turning back for a Blink Dagger, he's still Xiaowei. Put down solo here, he's trying to clear the... He might die, and he will go to the Phoenix!
Kaka. Kaka Dota. He knows what he's doing. Really well played there. They are going to be able to clear out these Ancients now on the side of Newbee. Aggressive, still getting his farm on, so another bright spot for LGD. He is at level 11, so 2 points in that God Strength. And if left to his own devices, he can really destroy, rip through the side of Newbee. Both Torrent combo coming out on the KP. He needs to get out of here, and he's going to end up getting hit by the Stormhammer. The Ancient Apparition Blast not going to hit. They have to call off the charge.
Raindrop, dude. It's just raindrop. Use raindrop, you can't kill people off that easily now unless you commit more heroes. And with the ancient stack already being cleared, you got the Dragon Lances out on the Medusa and the Drow. They're ready to start pushes. And of course, you know, plays his Void. He doesn't have to worry about regen. He's got the hit dress ready, making his way towards Vlad's, and he start to push up the lane, seeing as Chrono's up in 20.
Oh,
going again.
Okay, they want to try and go for this. God Strength is there and gonna hit away there on the KP. Can he actually get out of it?
Oh, he gets away.
Oh man, and now in a bit of trouble as the rest of the side of Newbee is going to be there. They drop down the silence, in a lot of trouble, but the damage is not going to be there. They kill off aggressive again. No reaction as of yet coming out from LGD, and my goodness, this is... It's feeling like Newbee have a plan in mind, and this is just the Drow strat working the way it's intended.
You still have to bear in mind as well, they still have the Supernova and the Crow. So you can already see they're heading to the bottom lane, smoked up. If they can synergize just their 2 spells, then one dead hero at least. Especially on Mirana. Maybe yeah, he's quite vulnerable as well. The TP is already coming in.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Gonna catch
Chrono.
him. Chronosphere down, the gust, everything thrown out, and maybe is gone. 45 seconds on the sidelines. And even though they do have this Moonlight Shadow, it's still not feeling like they're going to be able to keep their buddies alive. It's a really hard game right now for LGD to deal with.
Going for a defensive item in the Lincoln Spear now, already has the Perseverance. Gonna have a decent easy time. So spells which Newbee have, they're not just restricted draw timings of 25 minutes and you're over, but case no. They have the Medusa for the game, they've got the Chronosphere, so they can always drag things out. LGD side, however, the TA, okay, she dying there. She needs the Desolator to do more damage so she can chase the Drow down. Ben is getting good farm. He's not the Echo Saber, he's going for a Sanj and Yasha.
Yeah, he's going for a little bit more of the classic build as the Helm of the Dominator, Sanj and Yasha. We'll see what he ends up going back for afterwards. Wouldn't hate a Blink Dagger. BKB doesn't really feel like it provides you a ton in this game. I mean, Glimpse is nice to be able to take off, but I don't know. A lot of the damage that's coming in is going to be physical. They're wrapping around now onto maybe. See if they can find something here to mess around with. But it looks like for now, they're not going to test their luck. Tier 2 tower starting to fall down here in the bottom lane.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified.
So they will go for Betray, more items, and LG have identified this. And it's okay if like the TA goes for Blink. That just means he should have enough raw damage to kill off like supports. And this is Disrupt the Phoenix, not exactly the easiest. Ice Blast is gonna miss, and this just means they will take the tier 2 for free. TP coming in from spin.
Glimpsed away maybe? No, they're not gonna go for
Oh, they can find MMY though.
Kinetic Field is down, and yeah, MMY is gonna be fine for the moment. He is going to just try and TP out of there. They do not find any follow-up kills, but the tier 2 tower goes.
I have no vision though. They could just wait up theirs and just hope that LGD come out, pinging out a potential ward, but nothing there. CLA arrow.
Hits on the moon.
Nice catch.
Yeah, they're gonna keep him back. I'm feeling though, like with Chronosphere up online, if they wanted to, Newbee could just head back into the Roche Pit and take that down. Oh, do they spot Zhao 8? Alright.
KP spotted that out. They're waiting around the sentry.
Okay. That jump down, a little bit scary. Another X combo on the How. There's also the AA Blast. How taking a lot of damage and is going to end up getting the full brunt of that one, but not going down as of yet.
It's only a level 1 Ice Blast, so he's not going to die from that. He can just Helm of Dominator, he can always just farm up creeps to get his HP back up. Fight around Roshan, because they still have the ults, the Disrupt, Chronosphere, and Supernova, plus the Stone Gaze is just fight into for AD right now. Just like abandon the Roshan and try maybe push farm, unless they think really contesting.
Well, and they are going to be following your advice. Maybe is here with the Desolator, almost done, 1,400 gold away roughly, before they end up finishing that one off. Meanwhile, Medusa with the Dragon Lance and building now into the Lincoln Sphere. I mean, there's pieces of this draft that just, it feels like as it goes later and later, they're going to have to deal with this Medusa at a certain point, and I don't know, it's a very hard game right now for LGD. But they are still certainly in it. Like, they've got the Sven, they've got the TA that are pretty well farmed, and of course, Kunkka bringing to the table all that team fight potential. You can't count them out by any means.
Meanwhile, so still halfway being completed, maybe. They have an observer which scouts that out, so they want to smoke, look at Khan and Kaka already hitting into the enemy jungle. If they can slow down maybe's item progression, they don't have to worry about taking a rush fight. Oh, they're gonna fight aggressive. Be a big kill.
And I'm gonna glimpse him back, but he's actually gonna be just away from them for the moment and ends up popping there.
Nice
and the AA Blast gonna come in, doesn't hit onto anybody. That's the Stone Gaze already used, so LGD fine for the moment to jump in there by Zhao Wei, trying to take this fight. The boat's gonna come in. They are gonna have a Sun right in the middle of all of that. It's gonna fall. So a little bit of a scary position right now. They might be able to do this back and trying to find a kill. The Chronosphere is going to connect. Do they have the damage to bring him down? It looks like they might. September is going to try and walk away, but he's going to end up falling as well. Now Ancient Apparition, the only one left alive, bashed up, brought down, maybe jumps there on top of How, but they still do a decent chunk of damage onto him, and he's going to end up going down. 5-man team wipe as Newbee just destroying LGD in this one. It's, oh my goodness, it's really hard to deal with this Chronosphere and the Drow combo.
It is, and like I said, LGD, they just items they need to fight right now. TA is not at that monstrous level. She's getting farmed. She did get the Desolator pickup after killing How. KP has a Blink Dagger, and that's even scarier. Because right now they've been fighting, they're relying on the Chronospheres without Blink. And now that he has a Blink, he's gonna catch very, very nicely. Backlines catch like the supports. That's all they need.
Well, again, the pieces are here for LGD. You've got that boat, you've got the Ancient Apparition ultimate, you need to be able to try and contest Roshan, I would imagine. That's pretty much the be-all end-all, and if they can get that big wombo combo working, the game is certainly not over, but they need to start to react to this pretty quickly. There can no more free objectives at this stage, with the exception of maybe the top tier 2 tower. You probably don't defend that, but Roshan's or high ground, it's time to party for LGD.
That's coming up as well. How taking the doggies away from KP even though he's so close. He's going for a Shadow Blade, so you could see something. The Silver's Edge, which damage reduction alone, about against aggressive. He still needs a Blink Dagger so he can just go straight for the Drow. Not the huge thing, Medusa is dealing so much more damage than you or expect because of the Drow aura, so that's one thing which this can do. Oh,
good stuff could come out right here. LGD looking for their moment to initiate. They have spotted KP, so this could be really good if they're able to find it. Oh, it looks like the initiation's going to come out though in the glimpse back. Oh, they've caught Zhao Wei. He's going to end up getting taken down. That was like one of their moments to be able to make that work, but looks like at least for now they're going to have to call the retreat. KP looking, this might end up being a really big jump. He ends up catching 2 in the Chronosphere. Oh no, and why in September the 2 initiating heroes, he throws out the A blast, but it's not going to be enough. September tries to get the run buff to keep himself alive. He's rather tanky, but I'm not sure if it's going to end up mattering. He glimpses to try and bring himself back with the X, but already, well, September, they're actually keeping him there now. He ends up going down. KP runs him down there. But that was a really good play by Kunkka nonetheless, but 3 are still going to die.
They get the courier snipe. Oh, that was just a disaster for them. Nicely done. On the bright side, the Vladimir is offering still in the base, so he can just go back. But oh, the counter courier kill.
Okay, back and forth we go. Meanwhile, Kaka
that was a big one.
Explodes. Good stuff coming out from Maybe, and trying to see if he can take a little bit more here. It's a hard game for him to completely carry solo.
That was a really, really big courier kill, because that was the Blink Dagger inside for the defense. Aggressive doesn't have the Blink.
Oh no, KP also going to get jumped upon, so even though he didn't have the Blink, the Aggressive able to find that kill. They're starting to crumble a little bit. LGD might be doing this, doing a lot of damage to move it. Static Storm already dropped once, and Zhao in the midst of all of this, trying to do a decent chunk of damage. Maybe jumps in. Aggressive is here as well. House starting to get dropped very low. Can they find this kill, though? It doesn't look like it as of yet. The Storm Hammer to try and get the counter initiation. Arrow is going to connect on the Chuan. They have the A Blast as well. They might be able to bring him down. This could be huge. The 3-person caught there. Torin is going to lift up onto 1, and now maybe going to be able to find a little bit more off the back of this.
Sunray.
Are going to end up bringing down Aggressive. Alright, that would have been it, but still an okay initiation there. As they throw out one last boat, September trying to escape. Disruptor ends up killing off that Ancient Apparition, and September going to go down. It was looking good for a little while there for LGD, but Newbee at this point is just very difficult to kill off.
Getting way too ahead of themselves. LGD, they should have backed off after winning that fight. They could have just gone on to take more objectives, or like go back to farming another item, even TA, especially since he needs BKB, or all like the Newbee, disrupt the alt ends, not. But this is just really scary. So right now, especially, you know, Kaka is a Midas, Phoenix is out farming the position 3 Marana, which is not a good sign. And usually by now we see Marana, he's opponents for at least parts of the Axe, but he has not had any opportunity for any setups of the Moonlight Shadow and game.
It's been a tough one, and even if they didn't, like, you look down there at the bottom lane, if they were capable of finding like a pick off there right at the start or something else along those lines, it would have been huge. They need to find how, really. but he's just been very good with his positioning and still waiting. Like, Aggressive is pretty farmed. Like, he's got the third highest net worth in the game right now, not that far behind the Medusa. It's just a matter of taking these fights on their own terms, and the synergy from Newbee being pretty strong, and they are going to be able to get the silence there onto Aggressive. Frost Arrows as well, trying to get this Moonlight Shadow to keep him alive, but the Chronosphere is going to connect, maybe trying to bring down Kaka, are going to be able to do a lot of damage, and the Hay Blast is going to go out as well. So a nice combo, if they've already been able to do a decent chunk, and looking for a little bit more moves in the midst of all of this. MMY ends up falling down as Chuan threw it in the glimpse back. 2 already dead. Oh man.
So unfortunate. God didn't mean to be caught in that. Anything about that fight for them, that Drow did not get that AA blast. It looked like it did, but he was just right outside the radius AA blast, so that was big. Otherwise TA would have gone straight for the Drow. Many free hits because he was just all the way at the back line. Pyro's down, things are looking really GD. Maybe he can just try to split push a tiny bit, but that's all he can do. As if he's still needs their BK.
That's the problem is, again, they need so much of everything. Like, they need damage on people. Mirana is trying to go for this Agnum Scepter, but it's just going to be silenced for the moment. And look at this damage. There's just no response. Drow Ranger kills him off again, and How is just all over it this game. Has the Hurricane Pike too. Haven't actually seen this on a Drow Ranger in a little while, but kind of a cool little pickup.
It means that he can kite around the Sven as well, since Sven doesn't have a BKB. Why just now when he picked up, it's like, okay, Pike, this is going to be fun to watch.
And it goes to show why teams have been, in some cases, first stage banning out Drow Ranger. The hero is no longer just a gimmick. You can actually transition into the later stages of the game, particularly if you pick up another couple of cores like the Medusa here.
I would say also because, especially like when you look at for the core supports, used to be Lion usually want to first pick Chinese teams, but you realize that from among the tier 1 Chinese teams, they're starting to pick up this a lot more, and Phoenix, and when you get two ranged heroes which synergize so well together, you add a Drow to the picker, and really these supports are just not, they're not that, like, do more damage than you. Really scary. So LGD now, they're looking for salvation.
Good reactions there,
Right, KP.
That was really solid. Aggressive blinked in onto that media or the small camp, but didn't end up being able to find him as he was able to TP out. So good recognition there. They're going to move down here, and looks like they're spoiling for a fight. Newbee want to take this one if they get a good Chronosphere out, but they are going to run into several. This is a Moonlight Shadow, so again, a nice opportunity here if LGD can take it on their own terms. And maybe
they use the scan as well, so they know.
Killing Kaka is the way to start off. The unfortunate problem is that Moo is just up front and center, and there's not a great way to stop it. They are going to be in the middle of all of them. They can just pop the ultimate now, and Moo, Stone Gaze going off already. Maybe is going to get caught in the Chronosphere. BKB has already been bought, though. Maybe going to be able to rip through this one. They do have the Close Rope coming out as well from the ship. It connects onto Howard. Is going to end up being brought down. Templar Assassin finds the kill. Nicely played there. KP is going to get dropped down as well. So Q already dead for Newbee, but they've lost Maybe, and now they do need to keep on backing out of here. The problem is that there's no answer for Moo.
Crimson 3.
Oh, there's the pullback. Aggressive does a lot of damage. Alright, they're just ignoring Moo for right now. He doesn't actually do a whole heck of a lot. It is starting to try and bring down September as well as Aggressive. The Torrent lift up. Kaka in a lot of trouble. He ends up falling, and now they turn their attention, last but not least, onto Moo. Aggressive just trying to run away, and not movement. They're able to kite him around. LGD make it work.
Moo was just then just walking in with the Lincoln Sphere, even putting it on himself to show the blue orb, and he's just like, hey guys, come on me. GD were like, we don't see you, we don't want to look at you, ugly, and went straight for the rest of Newbee. Nicely done for Maybe to go straight to Drow, and it was just a bit of miscommunication where he caught Maybe, but the rest of the team wasn't ready. They were hesitant to throw the rest of the spells onto TA to finish him off.
Yeah. Again, it's starting to feel like, Aggressive pops BKB.
Second BKB.
He's still
it's a 10-second BKB.
Doing a decent chunk of damage, but yeah, as long as he gets out, that's still okay. It's not the best in the world, obviously, but it'll do. It'll do. Well, Tier 3 towers and high ground has still not been broken as of yet, so Newbee, as this game goes on, do we have to start worrying about them falling off?
A gift from the tempest of battle.
No, I think not.
Radiant's
They're
top
doing
tower
okay. Like
is
the way
under
they're
attack.
scaling so far, Medusa is so farmed. I mean, the only downside is that Drow's net worth is EA now, and her items are mostly defensive. The Shadow Blade and the
Radiant's
Hurricane
top
Pike.
tower
He used
is
an
under
occasional amount of
attack.
damage, but not so much for like need to buff Medusa. So that's why, you know, LGD they're like, okay, let's just kill the Medusa, kill the Drow, because that's the main source of the Medusa damage. Need that Drow aura.
Yeah. Well, it does make sense. So, LGD making good decisions here and their target prioritization. As it looks like 4-man casual, not even smoking, is moving through here. KP is going back now for Diffusal Blade after picking up the Vlads as well as the Blink Dagger. And it looks...
Actually, Kaka's big item is coming up now. He's got a Shiva's Guard. And if you can land even if your spirits on, like even one spirit onto Sven or the TA, be a really item, and especially since he's very close to the level 16 Supernova as well. And we haven't seen Newbee even synergize their ults yet.
Yeah. That's when things start to get really scary. And I'm kind of wondering now, as we do see the Drow Ranger move down here, when's the moment where you start thinking about high ground? Do you want to push this if you're Newbee? Do you just keep on sitting pretty with where you're at and taking these small skirmishes? What's the play?
Wait for the big boy Roshan. He's up in like a minute or two, and then that's where the next fight should be revolving around. If you can win the Roshan there, then you can think high ground. Otherwise, you can use the Roshan, follow up one more item. You see, look at Moo, he's almost got his Eye of Skadi up. And if you're LGD, yeah, you just want to get the eggs up into Dow 8, which is almost up well, 150 more gold. And yeah, you just content to just wait. Just play accordingly to how Newbee gonna go. Don't let them dictate the pace of the game.
It's tough indeed. Well, Medusa, as you're saying, God, level 20, she is just so farmed. This is devastating, and it is going to really start to ramp up in damage once that Eye of Skadi is finished. Going to have the slow on deck, not to mention all of the damage that's coming just from the straight-up Drow Ranger. And if they do manage to hit a pretty big Chronosphere, this is the thing that's crazy to me about this, is that if they hit a Chronosphere, they win in dramatic fashion. If they don't hit a Chronosphere, they're still probably going to win the team fight.
So KP next item, he could consider going back for Aghanims, he could go for a Refresher, but obviously the plan for LGD right now, they know the next thing, like I said, was the Roshan for Newbee. You buy yourself more space. But Newbee, they should be aware of what's going on. They have the Helmet Dominated Creep to died inside, so they know what's going on, but it's too late for them to contest Roshan. So they will just back off, or at least try for a smoke fight outside. They need to combine, need to land all their ults. KP needs to go now.
Okay, jumps in.
Oh, nice Chrono!
1 to 2, Zhao Wade and maybe both caught out. They also have that Phoenix egg going, and September can only look on it as maybe is going to end up dropping there. So is going to be in the midst of all of that. Stunned for the moment. Aggressive jumps in, finds Kaka, but the Icarus dive away. Still fine for the moment. Moo doing a lot of damage with that Skadi already up and online. There's going to be the 4th staff away, maybe? I don't know how, actually taking a decent chunk of damage, but maybe he's going to fall. Aggressive, still alive. That's Aegis down. Trying to hit away onto Moo. That's going to be the still arrow onto Moo, and he is going to go down. So 3 already dead for Newbee, and they end up being able to take it. LGD, I don't know why Newbee took that fight.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
that's why I said you can't contest Roshan now, and at the same time, like, yeah, it was a good cross, but you weren't landing them on the critical heroes like the TA or the Sven. You needed to bring down the Sven, you needed to touch the Sven, but when that didn't happen, kill the 2 heroes, you should have just backed off. I think it was a bad idea to try and fight there, but they didn't have a choice. So now LGD, they get themselves tier 2, they could potentially tier 3 tower at least, killing around, needs the Silver's Edge or whatever damage he can. Then, you know, How doesn't have damage items. Farm he's had, he's gone for very, very defensive items in B, Hurricane Pike, Shadow Blade, and that's about it. So LGD buy themselves more time, and if anything, I would say they have a bit of an advantage over Newbee now. But it's a very small window.
Doing it good indeed, and able to fight their way back into this one. It's back to even. That entire team fight, I was very much struggling to see what was happening. I was somewhat slideshow Dota, as I've been throughout the series, but kind of how it goes. But aggressive. I mean, he's been casually continuing to farm up, get everything that he needs, and now has the crit up and online. I'm kind of wondering, even though they ended up hitting that nice combination of ultimates, they still have not found that one big one to get onto that Sven as well as the Mirana. And I'm kind of wondering also, you know, the Kunkka Coco Rum isn't enough to turn the tide of these fights. They're making all these heroes from LGD so much more tanky than they would be previously.
Big thing for them, for LG right now, it's not only just like the rum coming up from the ghost ship, but they also need to take into account the AA Ice Blast. Once you in an AA Aghanims, Ice Blast is going to do a lot to be. I kept bringing it up earlier on, and they should be very like happy that they Wyvern on their side, because if the Wyvern and Newbee, things would be much. So far with what they have, like in the Disruptor, they need to they really need to change the spells just to bring down Sven, but then the BKB. So Disrupt things it's gonna take a long time to come that up.
Yeah, definitely. Ancient Apparition is almost going to get his Aghanim after now. Only 1,000 gold away from it. And Daedalus completed on the Sven. These are items that are very significant. And it's starting to feel like, oh, Newbee, maybe a bit on a clock. Butterfly finish for maybe? Oh my goodness. They need to find something here quickly. As Xiaowei jumps forward and throws out the Starstorm damage.
LGD have pretty much all the items they need right now. Got Butterfly, yep, like Daedalus up on Sven. Go time. Fight here, you could actually push to tier 2 and go high ground. They push very, very quickly.
Alright, let's see them make it happen. Moving through the jungle right now. Medusa is the one up front and center. KP, if he gets initiated on here, would be disastrous. He does need to head out of there for the moment. Aggressive, trying to get the initiation, but they haven't been able to find it as of yet. There's going to be the Stone Gaze, and thinking about
Chrono.
going for it. A pretty good Chrono Spear. The boat's going to be in the midst of all of it, though, with Static Storm coming down now onto 3. Can they finish these guys off? BKB has already been popped in. Medusa just trying to go to town, but they're so tanky. On the side of LGD, they're doing a decent jump. The Sun Ray through onto all of them as well. Can they finish them off? Aggressive is low, and I think that they might have been able to do a glimpse back onto September. How it's going to be able to find that kill on top of it. 5-man team wipe, and that was the combo that we had been waiting for. Newbie showing their stuff.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So, yep, I called it. I said, like, that's what they needed to do. Like, they needed to land the ults on the right heroes. This was one of the situations. You kill the TA, you kill Sven. The LGD just don't have an answer for that fight. Because look at the last hero to try to even initiate on is the Medusa. But in that case,
no buyback.
They just went anyways. Confidence, their damage. I think Aggressive was very unlucky there. Like, out of 3 hits, he only had like, he even got a crit.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. And with no buybacks now, Sven dead for 39 seconds. His base just falls so rapidly. And Newbee's going to be able to take it. GG gets called. That was it. One fight down middle. And they end up being able to win the game.
Oh, this is actually perfect timing. Perfect roll lag his own lag. Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, Newbee bring down LGD, and as we said, if they do end up hitting all those ultimates, it's going to be in dramatic fashion. They make it work. It felt for a moment there like LGD was going to end up being able to take it back, but we saw again the combination in full effect. Hades, thank you for joining me. Any final thoughts about this series or any of the other ones that we've seen?
Thank you for having me, Lyrical. I really enjoyed it. Like, this was just really, really good play, especially from the teams. It's not often you get to see this. And do follow us on Facebook and Twitter, guys.
Oh, there it is. That's the sellout. You love to hear it. I'm gonna be getting my microphone literally died just like yesterday, a day and a half ago. I did a research, and I've got a new one in the mail. So I want to apologize for that. And also any of the stream quality issues that we had previously when I was doing the casting. I just the perfect world conjunction with going in from the West Coast. So apologize. I hope that you guys still enjoyed the broadcast and were able to have a good time watching some Dota 2 tonight. And as for now, we're going to call it good. That's going to finish us off here. 3 series done. Newbee are going to move on in the upper bracket, continuing along. We also did see Wings earlier tonight down CDC Youth, and the lower bracket matchups are going to continue tomorrow, which are elimination games. So stay tuned, everybody. More great Dota 2 to come. We'll see you guys later.